Thank you, Rhonda. A huge welcome and thank you for joining me tonight on my very first business launch with Life Vantage, everyone. All of you who did not know me, I'm Shanley Barning. I'm in my late 40s and I live here on the Sunshine Coast after moving from central Queensland late last year. I'm a wife, mother of two beautiful grown daughters and two amazing little granddaughters, and also one very handsome new grandson. Why I decided to join Life Vantage, it was all about timing. In January of this year, my husband and I had returned from our dream holiday in Europe for Christmas and New Year, and it was time to step back into reality, and Graham was back in central Queensland working. I had been experiencing terrible pain in my bowel for quite some time and made an appointment to see my doctor, expecting to be told, here is a script, book a scan, and I'll see you in a week or so. I thought that I'd had another prolapsed bowel. He ended up saying to me, no, we need to call an ambulance and you need to go to hospital straight away. I got to the hospital. They actually ended up doing CT scans, ultrasounds, blood works. The doctors came into me in the emergency and said, Shanley, you have a mass on your ovaries. We need to get a gynecologist and an oncology gyno to see you as well. Anyway, I ended up losing one ovary. The mass ended up being fine. So I ended up losing the ovary, which was fine compared to what the end result was looking like. I felt when this was all happening was actually 2 days before my granddaughter was actually turning up from Gladstone for her 3rd birthday, and it was really heart-wrenching to think that something might have happened and I wasn't going to spend any more birthdays with her. Sorry, it still chokes me up. So I felt like my world was crashing around me. With blessings, everything worked out okay. Moved forward 6 weeks. The recovery was slow, but it was okay. I started getting hormonal changes with mood swings, hot flushes, headaches, and it was unbearable. Then I started to get symptoms of sharp pains down the left side of my face and the back of my head and numbing around my mouth. For the 3rd time, this had happened to me in my life, which was quite devastating, and started to lose the function of one side of my face. My health for most of my life has been questionable, from my thyroid, not sleeping well, feeling tired all the time, abnormal monthly pains, bowel issues, terrible gut health, weight issues, and the list goes on. Now let's go to around the beginning of April. I received a DM in my Instagram account from a lady, which I now call a wonderful friend. I normally ignore messages from people I do not know, but on this day I decided to respond, and it was a day I will never forget. When people talk about fate or taking that risk, or when an opportunity is staring at you, take it. Well, whatever it was, I have taken it and run. From just having a conversation from a DM, my health is now next level. For me, I feel energized, I actually sleep, but more importantly, I wake up ready for the day. I exercise every single day and enjoy it. I feel excited and positive. I could just keep going on and on about how I feel. I honestly, with hand on my heart, have never felt this good and so grateful. My husband could see the results I was getting, and he jumped on the bandwagon also. Graham had a knee replacement 3 years ago this September and still was having troubles with his knee swelling. The scar was still red and he found it hard to walk long distances. After 2 weeks, his knee had no swelling, the scar had finally turned white, and we now walk on an average, when he is home, 5 kilometres a day. This has been a huge win for him. After reading the testimonies for dogs, we thought we would try it on our very spoiled Maltese Shih Tzu, Polly, who was 12. Polly has always had fatty lumps on her, which has been surgically removed and then would grow back. She no longer has any fatty lumps and comes back from her walks ready to go again, whereas before she found it even hard to get to the bowl to have a drink when we got home. But what has amazed me even more is the results I see for my family, friends, and the testimonies. These all still astound me, which is why I decided to join this extraordinary business. This is changing lives for the better. I personally cannot thank Tony enough for reaching out to me. It has led me into a business that truly does help people, and I believe this is what I have been searching for the longest time, which is why I'm here tonight sharing my story and why I'm doing what I do now. I'd like to introduce to you Rhonda. Rhonda is a nutritional therapist, predominantly works with women and children. Her passion is paediatric, special needs, mental health, and natural anti-aging. Rhonda is also an education consultant and biohacker. Rhonda has 4 children, 1 grandson, who she's seeing very soon, lives on the Sunshine Coast with her husband, with her 2 youngest children, 2 dogs, and way too many chooks, by the sounds of it. Must be getting some good eggs. And Rocky the rooster. Oh, Rocky must be busy. Anyway, and then I would love to introduce Madeline. Her husband and 4 kids live on the sunny coast here too. She is originally a healthcare professional, but is most passionate about natural wellness and having fun in the outdoors with her family. For many years, she has been juggling work as a private practitioner, her kids, extra activities, and a busy household, but was longing for a vehicle to have more time freedom, less stress and burnt out, and the ability to pursue her dreams as a family. When she finally discovered this vehicle, she found a roadmap to achieve her dreams. To have hope, stress less, have more time for fun with the family, and to have more options. They are both here to support me tonight and delve further into what we believe is truly life-changing. Thank you, Rhonda and Madeline.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you so much, Shanley, for saying yes. You know, it's so exciting, and I actually never really ever expected myself to be doing something like this, because as a nutritional therapist, you know, you gave the intro, and I thank you for that. But yeah, I was never really expecting to go down this avenue, because I've always been, you know, in the model of working within like a clinic space type of thing. So I absolutely love what I'm doing, and I'm so happy to align myself with you, because your passion and your heart is just amazing. And some of the stories that we're hearing back from people is just absolutely mind-blowing. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining us all here tonight. There's some of the information that we're sharing here tonight may seem new or even foreign. I just do ask that you keep an open mind. The information that we'll be sharing here today is all 100% natural, but the reason why I've aligned myself with the products and the company is because it's all scientifically proven. And, you know, that's something that's very passionate. I'm very passionate about that. It's definitely science, but it's also 100% natural. So let's kick in. So biohacking, like before I'd actually Madeline introduced these products and the information to me, I'd never heard of the term biohacking. So biohacking pretty much means our biology. We're hacking our biology rather than being, you know, hijacked. We're actually taking that control back. And you know, what we're going to be talking about here tonight is we're presenting information about a new way of biohacking. So it's biohacker is someone that would take the stairs instead of the elevator, or you know, listening to good music, relaxing, exercising, eating great food, real food, whole foods. We're pretty much using science or technology to make our body function better and more efficiently, helping our bodies to work as nature intended. And you know, we just want everyone to reach their true potential. Everyone wants to just be happy and healthy. And that leads me on to, well, how healthy do you think you are? You know, I think everyone would initially think that, well, you know, we're not doing too bad. But I want to ask, you know, the food that we're eating, the sleep that we're getting, sleep is a really big thing. The amount of exercise that we're getting, stress, especially during the lockdowns, etc., that was quite stressful for a lot of people. Our mindset, etc. Then also our community, our friends, our social activities, which obviously has been very limited due to the lockdowns, and thankfully it's all starting to lift. And I, you know, I'm heading to up north to see the kids and my grandson very soon, and I can't wait. But it's also comes down to our hobbies, what keeps us happy. Our environment, is it clean or toxic? I think we'd all agree to, you know, our environment is way more toxic than what it was 50 years ago. And our genes all play a big role in all of this. And the lifestyle, our community and our environment actually impacts upon our genes. And that really leads us into epigenetics and not just our lifespan, because we all ideally want to live a long life, but ideally even we want to live long, but we want to live a healthy long life rather than being uncomfortable or, you know, having discomfort for a very long time. So biohacking with nutrigenomics. So nutrigenomics is something that I've been studying since 2009, and it's very, very at the forefront of natural health and medicine today. So what does it mean, nutrigenomics? So nutri obviously is in regards to nutrition, impacting upon our genome, so our genetic profile, and it's definitely a lot more than just blonde hair and blue eyes. It really impacts upon everything in regards to our cellular health, regulates every single cell process in our body. So, and it also looks at upregulating, switching on our good genes, upregulating our good genes, and downregulating any of the genes that have been overexpressed, which can lead to dysfunction and conditions, illness, etc. So what we're talking about here tonight is activation, and activating our bodies to work as nature intended. So we're addressing health decline, potentially aging, which then leads to oxidative stress. And I'll be talking a little bit more about oxidative stress in a bit. But to set a bit of the background, back in 2005, there was an ABC investigative report which aired in America. And that started to raise awareness about free radicals and what they are, and potentially how free radicals produce oxidative stress, which leads to oxidative damage. So what is free radicals and what is oxidative stress? Not everyone's heard about that. So we all have free radicals in the body. Everybody, every mammal on the planet has free radicals. It is a normal process. We need to have them, but in small amounts. Pretty much it's created from just us breathing, us metabolizing food. That creates free radicals, free radical damage. But if we have too much of it, it is absolutely detrimental, and it's causing damage to our body on a cellular level. And an excess of free radicals is what's causing oxidative stress and oxidative damage. And the only way that we can reduce free radicals is to give our bodies antioxidants. Yes, so most of us have heard about antioxidants. So free radicals are a byproduct of every single cell in our body. Waste products, oxygen, like I was saying, metabolizing food. And it's in all systems of our body. It's systemic. Okay, it's every single organ in our body, and it's pretty much in regards to our diet, our environment, pollution, the air that we're breathing, whether we're sitting for too long, if we're having too much alcohol, have we been exposed to chemicals? I'm not sure if you're aware that babies are being born today with 137 toxic chemicals in their umbilical cords today. This is just showing how toxic our environment is becoming. Pesticides, herbicides, fungicides in all of our foods, genetically modified food, wireless. These are all things that we need to be aware of, and we can't escape this. Even if we dig a hole and go and bush, it becomes totally self-sufficient. We can't escape it, and that's the downside of it. So the issue is that the body is constantly being bombarded by this oxidative stress and the onslaught of free radicals on a cellular function into the body. So the only solution is that we need to combat the oxidative stress by producing antioxidants. Unfortunately, the body's production of antioxidants starts to slow down over time, and it usually starts to switch off around about 22, 25 years of age. And in my area of work, I actually see each generation is becoming weaker and weaker. And I start to see children with really, really low levels of internal endogenous antioxidants. And that's a real concern. This is something that really needs to be addressed. So how much oxidative stress do we actually have? Well, they say that we have around 37 quintillion or whatever quintillion free radicals. It's a huge number. And we potentially have millions of free radicals in every single cell. Okay. So 37 quintillion trillion cells, and then we've got all of these free radicals. Now, on a food relation, in regards to what I've been doing, studying nutritional therapy, we use food and vitamins and minerals, etc., to actually boost up the bodies on a cellular level, but also as antioxidants. So using food is a 1-to-1 ratio. So, for example, a punnet of organic blueberries contains around about 6,500 antioxidant molecules. So that will wipe out only 6,500 free radical molecules. So you can see it's just a 1-to-1 ratio. And that's where the body really struggles, because, you know, for us to wipe out the amount of free radicals that we have, 3.7 quintillion free radicals, we would need a truckload of organic blueberries. Now, I don't know about you guys, but my budget would not allow for that. Plus, I would turn blue if I tried to do that. It's just not sustainable, yeah? The other option is that you could be eating a truckload of oranges, you know, drinking red wine. All of these fantastic things have good antioxidants, but we just could not eat or drink ourselves out of this problem. I think you would all agree with that, yeah? We need a far more effective way to combat our free radicals. And thankfully, science has found a way. So how can we reduce or manage our oxidative stress? So like I said, we can actually use direct antioxidants, that 1-to-1 ratio, or we can start to reactivate that NRF2 pathway that we're all born with. Every single mammal is born with the NRF2 pathway. Now, it's a big science. I don't expect you to remember all this. But NRF2 starts to fade away, that internal endogenous ability for us to actually make our own antioxidants starts to fade away around about that 22-25 age group. Okay? If we can switch on this NRF2 pathway again, we can make our own antioxidants like we were in our 20s. Yeah, that's where we want to be. We want to stay there because it's actually natural anti-aging. We can start to increase our catalase, glutathione, and superoxide dismutase, SOD. Again, I'm not expecting you to remember all of these, but the beauty of this is that one SOD molecule can eliminate 1 million free radicals. That is absolutely amazing. Absolutely. And this is what we're talking about as in biohacking. We can actually biohack our way out of this problem by using science. And it's all natural. It's helping our body to work as nature intended. So you can imagine the picture here is showing there's a place on fire. That's all the free radical oxidative stress, okay? We've got the house on fire. If we're using food, okay, that 1-to-1 ratio, it's like we've got a glass of water and we're throwing it on that house fire. It's not going to work. However, if we activate that NRF2 pathway, it's like every single sprinkler in the house is turned on. The fire brigade turns up and every single person in your neighborhood comes with a hose as well. We're going to put that fire out in minutes. That is way more effective by using that NRF2 pathway. And science, Life Vantage, have actually discovered a solution, a formula to activate it, and it's all 100% natural. It switches on that NRF2 pathway that we're all born with, and that's responsible for antioxidant production. The input is just 5 herbs, beautiful herbs: milk thistle, bacopa, ashwagandha, green tea, and turmeric. And this increases our SOD, catalase. Like, catalase is beautiful for anti-aging. You know, the first signs of aging on our face, on our hair, is a lack of catalase. Like, who wants to increase their catalase? I do, absolutely. You know, glutathione by 300%. There's mainstream medicine that you can get from the pharmacy and the supermarket that will deplete your glutathione levels immediately. It's absolute, and a lot of people take this for, you know, any kind of discomfort, or, you know, it's something that we give to our children on a regular basis as well. So these are things that we're actually depleting left, right, and center. So these products are all 100% approved by the Banned Substance Control Group, which is fantastic for athletes. My son takes it. He's a supreme athlete. He takes after his father. He doesn't take after me. He plays rugby league. You know, he's been selected for the Falcons, which is the feeder team for the Melbourne Storm. You know, it's really, really important that we're supporting our athletes as well. We have Olympians on these products. So just to touch on the actual ingredients, milk thistle is fantastic for liver detoxifying. Bacopa, brilliant for memory, learning. Ashwagandha, for mood. Green tea, we've probably heard about green tea. It's an antioxidant, but also helps with our metabolism, and turmeric inflammatory markers. These products have been scientifically proven to increase our SOD by 30%, catalase by 54%, and glutathione by 300%. We need to get this into our bodies. It is absolutely remarkable. Okay, so like I was saying before, you can use the one-on-one ratio with food. So you'd need like just under, I think it's 5 kilos of blueberries, 375 oranges a day, 120 vitamin C tablets, and 87 glasses of red wine. Now, I like my Pinot, but I would not be able to sustain this. I'd end up with a lot more health issues if I was to try to do this every day. Or we can take just 1 tablet a day. Yes? Now, this study here, you can see here, this is without Protandim. This is a study that they did. It was a blood draw on people that were taking low doses of antioxidant foods and supplementation. Now, what happened was that when they started to take just 1 tablet a day, a blood draw, they, after I think it was like 3 months, they could not identify the age group difference between them on a cellular level. So the age of the 80-year-old looked like, on a cellular level for their blood, looked like a 20-year-old. This is what we're talking about. Who wants to feel like they're in their 20s again? You know, you look at the kids or the grandkids and you think, oh my goodness, if only I had half their energy. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. This is why we're so excited. You know, this can help energy levels, focus, concentration, and so much more. This is the study that I was talking about. Protandim, blue dots, before they started Protandim. The yellow dots was after 1 month, and then the red dots after 120 days. They could not identify the difference. This is remarkable. Now, you might be thinking, oh, well, I'm already taking those ingredients. I was taking them because long story cut short, my son had major health issues, and that's why I became a nutritional therapist, because I was not getting answers in mainstream. Part of the recovery of my son, I ended up burning myself out. My energy kept crashing all the time. Long list of other health issues. So I was already taking all of these products, but this Protandim, it's 18 times more effective than if you're taking all of these ingredients, okay? Even if you were to put them all together yourself. It took them over 40 years to get this formulation right. 2,500 different formulations before they got it perfected. Now, you're probably thinking, well, you know, where's the research, or who's looking into this? That was my response as well, because, you know, even though I'm 100% natural solutions, I want the science. I'm very heavily science-based. So the response to Protandim has been nothing short of amazing. And like that ABC investigative report that I was talking about at the beginning back in 2005, after that was aired, the company was just flooded with requests to look into this product and the studies. So this product has been featured in many magazines, books, journals. Heart Association of America published it in their journal called Circulation. This is remarkable. You know, even Sanjay Gupta has over 40 years in experience of breakthroughs in medicine, and it's absolutely amazing. I'm not sure if you've heard of PubMed, but that's where health professionals go. It's our medical library. It's where we go to look into publications and research and medication. We have actually 31 peer-reviewed studies and 26 on PubMed. Please go in there and have a look. You know, well-respected universities and organizations. When I heard that there was 26 peer-reviewed studies on PubMed, I was gobsmacked. I would have been happy with 1. As a health professional, seriously. And we're not talking about separate individual ingredients. We're talking about the product. That's outstanding. Hardly ever heard before. And one of the remarkable statements that I saw on Washington State University, they were saying NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. NRF2 may become the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health. Now, when you think of the history of health, what are you thinking of? I thought, you know, antibiotics, life-saving stuff, heart surgery, stents, all these types of things. They're saying NRF2 is likely to be the breakthrough. Now, when I was talking about all mammals, I mean all mammals. This is PubMed. Go onto PubMed and do your research. Put oxidative stress in any condition that you're thinking of. You'll be amazed. But also look at the horses. You know, we love our babies, our fur babies. There's a lot of people not just taking it for themselves, but also giving it to their horses. You know, they could be barrel racers. I'm a country girl too. I grew up and out at central Queensland. So yes, we have many, many people that are using it for their animals. Same with with dogs and cats. Don't take, you know, our word for it. Go on to if Shanley hasn't put you onto our Facebook group, our support group, reach out to Shanley and say, I want to know about this. Or even, and any whoever's introduced you and shared this information with you tonight, reach out to them. Now, the other thing about these products is that we also have a product that helps with mitochondria, because if we have an excess of oxidative stress, we're also going to have dysfunctional mitochondria. And this is what I was really struggling with in regards to my energy levels constantly fluctuating. So not everyone's heard of mitochondria. You know, we believe it's the second most important component, to good health. Mitochondria is absolutely vital. It is the powerhouse in every single cell. So this is a cell, and these little red organelles are mitochondria. So mitochondria produce energy in every single cell. It's like the little battery in every single cell. And it's been estimated that on average, adult body contains 10 million billion mitochondria, making up 10% of our body weight. That's insane, okay? If we don't have healthy, functional mitochondria, our heart's not going to beat properly. We're not going to have, you know, energy. Researchers have actually found that several conditions have been linked to damaged or dysfunctional mitochondria, and it's predominantly impacted by free radical damage, oxidative stress. If we don't have healthy mitochondria, we are in trouble. Who's a James Bond fan? You know, remember the old the spies would chew on a pill, cyanide. What does that do? Immediately wipes out your mitochondria. You have no mitochondria, you're dead, okay? This is really serious stuff. It's the absolute energy in every single cell except for our red blood cells. So it's not only the energy to get out of bed and, you know, and it's absolutely energy for every single organ in our body. Okay, so if our organs aren't working properly, then we're in trouble. Solution is we need to be constantly, you know, looking at how we can help our mitochondria, because they replicate, they duplicate. And if our mitochondria is not functioning properly, it's going to take a copy of a dysfunctional mitochondria. And we actually pass our mitochondria, us women, we pass our mitochondria onto our babies. And if our mitochondria is dysfunctional, then we pass dysfunctional mitochondria onto our babies. It stops with the men. They don't pass it on. We do. So even more reason why we need to not only look at ourselves, but also our daughters. Yes? So that we're looking at the future generation. So unfortunately, yeah, the mitochondria slows down over time. That's aging. But ta-da! Science have again found NRF1 pathway. When we switch on this NRF1 pathway, we can actually get the mitochondria working again. It can actually start to heal and replenish the mitochondria. So it actually starts to clean it out and replicate healthy, functional mitochondria again. So just, again, beautiful natural ingredients: acetyl-carnitine, quercetin, grape skin seed pulp extract, alpha-lipoic acid, and CoQ10. I think most of us are familiar with CoQ10. So this is going to help to get your energy. Now, seriously, when I started these products, I was like, oh my goodness. You know, I felt serious. I'm in my 50s and I felt like I was back in my 20s. In my 20s, I was, you know, involved with BNS balls. I was on the committee of rugby league. I was doing this, I was doing that constantly. And I feel exactly the same again now. It improves your sleep quality, cellular repair, helps with cognitive function and brain health. You know, you walk into a room and you think, why am I here? Yeah, it doesn't happen anymore. It's amazing. That focus and concentration, you just feel like you're alive. And I think we all deserve that. Now, another one that's just been launched in New Zealand And again, it's not, you know, anyone that wants more information about this, please go back to the person that's invited you here. But this takes your health to the next level. It is absolutely amazing. It's NAD. So NAD is pretty much a critical coenzyme found in every single cell in our body, and it within the metabolic process. So what does this product do? It really helps to kick in and get the sirtuins going. So it's a family of proteins that regulate cellular health, and they play a significant role in regulating cellular waste. It helps to get rid of waste. So a really good way to explain this is that you've got a brand new relationship, okay? You're talking all the time. You always want to spend time with each other. And then you compare it to a 90-year-old relationship, how they hardly talk to each other. This is taking us back to a brand new relationship where all the cells are communicating. Yeah, this is exactly what we want. So sirtuin activity declines around, you know, pretty much by, I think it's like 20 or 30% each decade. This is significant. What we want is to actually get this back up and going. It helps with inflammatory responses, etc. You may have heard intermittent fasting, caloric restriction. This really boosts the sirtuin levels significantly. However, I love my food. I really enjoy my food, and the last thing I want is to watch everything that I'm eating. And for caloric restrictions, it's like you can't eat anything more than 500 calories a day. Life's for the living. I want to eat real food and enjoy my food. So caloric restriction will actually boost sirtuin activity by 94%. However, you're taking 2 capsules a day, it's going to boost it by 100%. And our nearest competitor can only boost it by 2%. This is, again, significant. We have a 100% increase in just 24 hours. So sirtuin activity, what does it do? It improves our mental focus and concentration, positive mood, motivation, boosts your mental and physical energy. Like, seriously, I am just running all day, every day. I just love what I do. It also supports the body's health and inflammatory response, maintains healthy cholesterol levels, supports the vascular system and muscle recovery. So anyone that's right into their exercise, athletes, etc., you're going to recover a lot faster. Helps with healthy DNA function and also removal of cellular waste. So this is the Tri-Synergizer. So when we're putting all three together, it is amazing. So NRF2, this is really quite heavy in science, so I'm not going to go right into it. But NRF2 genes, antioxidants, okay, detoxification pathway. NRF2 by itself, if you put the Tri-Synergizer, it increases from 40% to 78%. That's huge. NRF2, another gene activator in regards to inflammatory response. When you're taking NRF2 by itself, it reduces the inflammatory response by 51%. When you put all three together, the NRF1, which is the mitochondria, the NRF2 helping with oxidative stress, and the NAD, look at that, 848%. That's what it's doing on a cellular level. NRF1 helps to regulate metabolic genes. By itself, increases by 65%. Put all three together, 90%. NRF1 helps with mitochondria, so helping to regenerate the good, healthy, functional mitochondria. By itself, 71%. Put all three, 120% increase. The NAD gene, which is helping with the recycling pathway. I'm looking over this side because I've got another screen. That NAD just by itself is 12%. So why wouldn't you take all three together? This is what I'm talking. To me, it's a no-brainer. It's all natural, and it's science. It's evidence-based. So I just say, if you've got more questions, go back to the person and speak to them about it, because this is absolutely amazing. It boosts sirtuin activity by 100% in just 24 hours. Now, the last factor that I would like to touch on is gut health. Okay, gut health is absolutely instrumental. If we don't have good health, gut health, then, pretty much Hippocrates says all disease begins in the gut. So I don't know what's happened there. Sorry, I don't know why that's there. So I do apologize. We have a product. It's a probiotic. Now, don't get me wrong. I sell many different types of strains of probiotic in clinic. But what I love about this is that it's a delayed release capsule. Now, what does that mean? It means that most capsules that you get from health food stores or the supermarket, those capsules dissolve within 7 minutes. It goes through the small end into your mouth and into the stomach, and the stomach acids break it down. With the ProBio, it actually takes 52 minutes to dissolve. So what that means is that you're going to have more beneficial bacteria getting to where it needs to be. 60% actually is going to get where it needs to be, whereas most stuff that dissolves within 7 minutes, you're lucky if you're going to get 4% there. So what is it about this probiotic that I love? Well, it has beta-glucan, which is very, very important for immune health. All the studies of beneficial bacteria that are in there are clinically proven. The strains are absolutely fantastic. I've gone through it like with a fine-tooth comb. Like I said, I'm very heavily science-based, but very natural. So it's really, really important that we're getting the right strains of bacteria into the gut health, into the smaller and large intestine. And the TGA shows that it's approved by the TGA, Therapeutic Goods Administration, and it proves that it enhances and promotes healthy digestion. Super important. You are what you eat. You've heard of that. But I also say you are what you absorb. And if you're not digesting and absorbing the nutrients, then you've got a problem. These products actually help with that. It helps to maintain and assimilate nutrients and enhances and promotes a healthy digestive system, your microbiome, which potentially is a good bacteria growth. So what we're talking about with these activators and the ProBio is, are you going to just accept where you are now? Or would you like to help flick on these pathways? You know, flicking on a switch. You can take supplementation, vitamins and minerals, which obviously we need if we're lacking certain things, like we don't have enough zinc or iron or B12, etc., magnesium. But this is totally different to supplementation. This is activating our bodies to work as nature intended. We have this pathway in our body, NRF1, NRF2, the sirtuins, etc. Let's get them working again, yeah? The activators actually help with the absorption. So, you know, I just say, let's help our bodies work as nature intended. So thank you so much. I'm now going to pass over to Madeleine, and she's going to take you through some of the other products that we have, but also, you know, how you, if this is something that you're interested in, how you can actually tap into get these products. And even if you're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm thinking of so many people that I can share this with, like I was, and like Shanley was, and Tony and Madeleine, then yeah, Madeleine will be able to show you all about that. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll pass it over to you, Madeleine.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. It's always fascinating to hear you explain the science. And that was definitely one of the factors that attracted me to this company and these products too. As Shanley introduced me, I'm an occupational therapist, and my background is primarily in medico-legal. So I had for a very long time my own medico-legal private practice, but also pain management. So when I came across this science, my initial reaction was, why haven't I heard of this before? Because as a medical professional, Washington State University said that this is potentially the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health. I knew that I wanted to take this to the world. So thank you so much for your time. Rhonda explained all of the science about the NRF2, and she explained that investigative report that we had that aired in America on the news. After that report aired, there's one specific university that went and they did studies specifically on the interaction between NRF2 and skin. And then they came back to the company after they've done their study and they said, we don't know if you know, but you've got amazing science, and we recommend that you put it into into a skincare system. So we currently have the skincare system. It's an amazing 4-part system. It's a facial cleanser, perfecting lotion, an eye serum, and the anti-aging cream. Now, what I absolutely love about this, because this is NRF2 activated, it sits in the space of personalized nutrition. So you can use this whether you have sensitive skin, oily skin, dry skin, and it's going to help you switch on those genes in your skin. Like Rhonda mentioned, unfortunately, we live in an extremely toxic environment. Your skin is your largest organ. We need to look after our skin. And when I started with skincare, and we're going to flick over to the hair care in a minute, when I saw the skincare and the hair care, immediately I thought to myself, if I look at myself in the mirror, I don't see a whole lot of aging. So why is this for me? But I can honestly tell you, I was absolutely amazed. So this is the hair care system. Also, it's a shampoo, conditioner, and then the scalp serum. Amazing products and so clean. A lot of what you put onto your skin and your hair will be absorbed in your bloodstream within 26 seconds. So you can actually download this app onto your phone. It's called Think Dirty, and it will give you a rating of how clean or toxic the products are that you use. So go into your bathroom, scan everything that you had. I did that. It was an absolutely shocking experience. I thought back to myself being a mom with little babies and the products that I used on my kids, thinking that I was doing good. And unfortunately, a lot of those products are very toxic too. So on the green band, you've got super clean. On the yellow one, not too bad. And then extremely toxic is the red one. All of these products right in the green band, 0, a 1, and a 2. So that's absolutely amazing to know that you can use that. You can use it on your kids and it's healthy. Thank you, Rhonda. So with this company, we absolutely believe that we need to look at the quality, and our products are triple tested for heavy metals. Like Rhonda said, they are also approved by the Banned Substances Control Group. They are approved by the TGA. So the company is absolutely diligent in their research of manufacturing the products and the science, but also in the physical warehouse. So we believe that we need to adhere to those industry standards, and we do. Thanks, Rhonda. So if you are looking at this information and you're thinking, oh my goodness, this is absolutely brilliant, where do I start? You might need more information. Go back to Shanley or the person that invited you. We would be happy to share more information with you. We've got so many webinar series. We are attracting really incredible people. Now, you don't have to be a medical professional to be a part of this company, but just because of the nature of our science, we have top cardiologists, neuroradiologists, chiropractors, so many people who have aligned themselves. So we can send that information on to you so that you can hear their perspective on the science of NRF2 and how it can impact your life. Or you can become a customer, go back to Shinley, she can help you to get started at wholesale cost, or you can join our team. We are an amazing tribe of wellness advocates, people who are so passionate about helping others live their best life. Biohack into your potential and be the best version of yourself. So here's the site that you can go to. So Shinley can send you this, the link for this, or she can help you to get started. It is super easy. All of this sits basically in the space of having an online shop, and it's so easy. It's like buying a franchise. You can go onto those websites and you can just put your order through, click into the cart and check out, and it gets shipped directly to your door. So that is extremely convenient. So as Rhonda mentioned, this is the ABC investigative report. That's a photo of the presenter, John Canoni. He went in front of the cameras, he swallowed one of those tablets, and after 2 weeks, his oxidative stress was reduced by 45%. After 4 weeks, it was reduced by 70%. After that investigative report aired, you can imagine why we had all of that media exposure. And that's why we are so passionate about sharing this news. We just had a chiropractor present over the weekend. And you know what he said about having 26 studies? He said all of the supplementation products in the world combined don't have 26 studies. We have 26 studies on NRF2. That is absolutely amazing. And people are looking for this. With everything that is going on in the world now, people are so focused on wellness. How can I hack myself? How can I be a better version of me? What can I do on a very simplistic level to improve my health? And it's very important to note that this is 100% natural. That was extremely important to me. being a healthcare professional, but first of all, very passionate about wellness. My husband is a triathlete. When I saw that this was 100% natural, I did not expect this to do what it has done for me. And I am so passionate about sharing this with everyone, just as Shanley is excited to share with you.
Yeah. Can I just quickly add in, if anyone hasn't seen this investigative report, then please go back to Shanley or whoever invited you, and they can share it with you, because it really is quite significant.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you, Rhonda. So Rhonda showed this slide. These are all the universities. You can look at those studies on PubMed.gov. PubMed.gov it's not a blog. It's where medical professionals go to find information about products and contraindications and symptoms. So please go there. So if you are looking at this information and you're thinking, this is something that I may be able to do from home, this is the perfect meld that we have. You can start with this business. You can work from anywhere, as long as you have a phone or a laptop, and you do social sharing. So basically, like when you go to the movies and you watch a great movie and you share that with your friend, this is the exact same thing that we do. We share great products, great science with people because we love people and we want them to have more abundance and better health. What really attracted me, coming from a traditional business as an occupational therapist in private practice, I knew that a lot of the hours that I put into my practice, I was not compensated for. It was behind the scenes work. I had a lot of extra stuff that I had to do. With this company, it's basically like a franchise. It's a turnkey system. When you start, you get a bunch of product that you can use, that you can share with your friends and family. And you don't have to buy a lot of extra products. You don't need that inventory. So it's absolutely amazing that you can just start with a small investment and you can potentially build this to a multi-million-dollar business. And as I mentioned, you've got that online store. So why Life Vantage? As you can see on that slide, wellness is exploding. People want to buy a hack. They want to take control of their own biology. There was a 60% plus increase in wellness sales globally in the last 8 years. People are understanding that they don't necessarily have a diagnosis, but they don't feel as invincible as they did when they were 20 years old. And that's why we are so invested in anti-aging, because it's not necessarily the wrinkles and the gray hair. It's what happens to your body when you age, what happens on a cellular level where you can't see it every single day. As you can see on that slide, oxidative stress, the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, no one had done any studies on oxidative stress. Now it's exploding. People start to realize how important it is that we take care of our oxidative stress. So again, this is from PubMed. Go onto PubMed and type in oxidative stress and see what comes up so that you can understand why we need to take care of our oxidative stress. So our question is to you is, where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself getting started as a customer, using the products, feeling amazing, or do you want to share this with other people? Pay it forward. Tell people about this amazing science. This truly is the future of health and wellness. And I remember years ago when I heard about the Apples and the Googles, I thought to myself, if someone would have told me about Apple and Google and Facebook in those early days, my life would have been dramatically different. And I can tell you today it's the 11th of June. Remember this day, because I can tell you this is the Apple, Facebook, Google of the wellness world. People are going to learn more about oxidative stress, NRF1, NRF2, and it's absolutely going to explode because it changes lives.
Yeah, that's great. And Madeline, you're talking about the chiropractor that we listened to last weekend, which just totally blew my mind, how he was talking about how he grew up in Silicon Valley. Do you want to share what he was saying in regards to how everything was, .com back then, and now it's all about nutrigenomics and epigenetics, and we're already in that space. Do you want to share that?
Yeah, absolutely. So he told the story of how he grew up in Silicon Valley, and 30 years ago, it was just before that .com. So he used to see all the companies in the tech space, and he he missed the boat. He didn't understand what it was all about. And he said last year, at the end of last year, he went to visit his mum, and they were on the freeway. And within a 20-minute stretch, he saw 3 companies with a name, with genetics in its name, and 3 more companies with genomics in their name. And what's really fabulous is that those companies are starting up now, because those are the tech gurus. They now get older and they want to live longer, healthier lives. So they are now investing in nutrigenomics, but they don't have any studies yet. We've got 26 peer-reviewed studies. And like Rhonda said, NRF2 was not an overnight, I'm going to think up a recipe and there we go, there's our product. The guy that invented NRF2, that discovered NRF2, he was awarded the Elliott Preston Medal, which is the same award that was given to Henry Ford, Alexander Graham Bell, the Wright brothers, Marie Curie. So it was massive. The fact that he invented this, discovered this, it was a 40-year period. It was 2,500 recipes of finding the most effective NRF2 activator. So this is absolutely breakthrough medical science.
Yes, I totally agree. And that's why I've aligned myself with the company, because the products are just amazing. And you know, the stories, the journey, the testimonials that I'm getting from my clients are just absolutely heartwarming. And even Shanley and yourself and Tony as well, Tony, you know, who I spoke to and just started talking to over the phone. And she was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. You know, I need to share this with the world as well. And so, yes, if that's something that you guys are excited about and you see yourselves as, you know, like us, you just want to help educate and support the community, then we would love to help you and work alongside you guys as well. So I just want to say thank you so much, everyone, for your time, and thank you so much for spending, you know, your evening with us. And if you've got any further questions or anything, feel free to go back to Shanley or the person that that shared this with you. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for your time. Have a good night. Thank you.